Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns. Welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. 2024 is going to be an exciting year with a lot of change and a lot of opportunity. And here's the energy that will be coming at you. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out. Cancer, the tarot card for the first quarter is the Fool. It shows a young man who's headed to the future. He is traveling with only a staff over his shoulder and a rose in his hand. On his staff is a small bag that contains everything he needs, and there's a small dog at his feet that represents instinctive guidance. He is looking to the sky, showing the potential of the future, but he may lack some practicality. Now, as we look into the first quarter, January, the first week suggests you need to be a little careful because there are squares from Mercury and Venus that hit Saturn and Neptune, and they can bring confusion due to your ambitions and maybe that you do not understand the rules of the game. Now, Uranus will go direct on the 27th in your 11th house. So evaluate your social involvements. There could be changes there. The Sun will conjunct Pluto in Aquarius on the 20th in your 8th house, and that can frustrate some of your needs for intimacy, so be careful in personal relationships. Now, February will start nice, but gets bumpy as Mars will conjunct Pluto on the 14th. That's a heavy-duty aspect. So control your blind passions, but investigate your deepest feelings. And the 22nd through the 25th may find you trying to network, but running into roadblocks. Now, when we look into March, it starts with a bang, as Venus will square Uranus in your 11th house. So watch out for friends who are a little bit too unconventional. Mars will also square Uranus, exposing some emotional conflicts and difficulty with networking. And Neptune in Pisces, and that is up in your 9th house, can bring educational opportunities. So know what you would like to learn to help you get ahead in the future. The tarot card for the second quarter is the Knight of Cups. It shows a man in armor seated upon a white horse. He extends a cup before him. His helmet signifies imagination, and there is water behind him. He suggests inspiration, creativity, and emotion. You may receive an offer that has a positive emotional impact. Maybe something to do with love and romance. Now, as we look into the second quarter, we start with April, and there is a total solar eclipse, and Mercury will be retrograde in your 10th house, and that can bring some career difficulties and challenges. Don't misunderstand others, as Venus and Mars will both conjunct Neptune in the 9th, and there's a lot of confusion, especially about beliefs, in the air. Now, powerful group changes come when Jupiter conjuncts Uranus in the 11th house, and the Sun will square Pluto over the 20th. So control your personal interactions. When we look into May, Mars in the 10th house energizes your career possibilities. But Pluto in the 8th house warns you to control your passions, especially at the beginning of the month. The Sun and Venus conjunct Uranus up in the 11th house, so network with care, since Mercury will also conjunct Uranus, and that can make you think you have all the best connections, but you don't. And Jupiter, now down in the 12th house, exposes your fears and inhibitions, so be careful. As we move to June, that starts with messages flying all around. And there's a lot of challenging energy, especially in the 12th house of self-undoing. And Saturn will turn retrograde at the end of the month up in the 9th house. And he demands that you reevaluate your abilities and your ambitions. The tarot card for the third quarter is the Death card. It suggests the ever-changing cycles of nature, with endings becoming new beginnings. Your world is changing, but it's also full of new potential. So don't get stuck in the past. Keep the faith, go through the changes, and move to the future. Now, as we look into the third quarter, July begins with Neptune joining Saturn retrograde up in the 9th house, and this can create confusion with your ambitions and your understanding. Venus and Mercury may also make communications a little bit more exciting, but Mars will conjunct Uranus in the 11th house. Now, that is heavy-duty energy, and it is squared by a Mercury square to Uranus from the 2nd house. So there could be some distortion in your financial situation. So be extra careful with your money. As we move into August, Mercury will be retrograde in the 3rd house, and that can disrupt communications and travel, so watch your scheduling. And mid-month is volatile, as Mars in the 12th house will square Saturn and conjunct Jupiter. So control your fear nature, because you may make mistakes. And Saturn up in the 9th house, he may affect your understanding of the big picture, and then you might have to pay for some misunderstandings. As we go to September, the Sun in Virgo and your 3rd house will bring some information and learning issues, and be especially aware of being critical. Also, around the lunar eclipse in the 9th house on the 18th, it can distort people's emotions. So be careful when dealing with trying to understand new or unusual people, or people who have different belief systems than you do. The tarot card for the 4th quarter is the Four of Wands. This is one of the happiest cards in the tarot deck. It combines the energy of the Four, which represents positive energy on the material plane, with the Wands, which represent happiness and expression. This suggests a good time for success in material and spiritual concerns. And there may be some news about a romance or a marriage. Woo. Now, as we look into the 4th quarter, beginning in October, Jupiter will go retrograde in your 12th house, causing you to rethink your spiritual needs. Pluto will go direct in the 7th house, and that will help you gain a deeper understanding of your relationships. And there will be a grand trine in water and mixed aspects all over the chart, and that'll keep everyone's emotions flowing. So join them and go with the flow. As we get to November, there is tension in the air, as Mars will be in the 1st house and opposing Pluto in the 7th. Now, this warns against power struggles in relationships. This is followed by the Sun, which will now be in the 5th house in opposition to Uranus in the 11th. So you'll have to behave yourself in social situations or when you're networking. Mercury does go retrograde in the 6th house, so adjust your daily work schedule and try to keep on time. Now, as we go into December, Mars will go retrograde right there in your 2nd house of money. So you're going to have to make some budget adjustments or be careful with your spending. But Neptune will go direct in the ninth house, and that can bring ambitious opportunities. So what are you wishing and hoping for in career and social status? Venus, now up in the eighth house, will oppose Mars in the second and suggests again that you need to balance your budget or your joint financial investments. So be careful again with money. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'd like to thank you for listening. Please like my videos and share them with your friends. And remember, this is the best time to prepare for 2024 with a private psychic and spiritual reading or a natal transit astrology chart. And you can order them at my website, professorastrology.com. And I hope you have a fabulous new year.